Hello, everyone. It's time for Drawing with Jenny again. I hope you're all doing well. So today we are back in Psalm 1 and we're going to be studying verse 4 today. But before we do, I wanted to read verse 3 because the two verses sort of go together. Verse 4 will make more sense when we refresh our memories what verse 3 said. So verse 3 describes what the person who meditates on God's word is like. It says, "He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth its fruit in its season, whose leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper." And last week we studied that verse in more detail, and we talked about some specific things that verse might actually mean. And this week's verse is quite the opposite of last week's verse. It's quite serious and sobering. And it says, "The ungodly are not so." So the ungodly are not like the tree planted by the rivers of water. They're not like that. But are like chaff which the wind blows away. So the ungodly... Actually, that word ungodly, I was curious what Blue Letter Bible had to say about the word ungodly. So I did a little investigating, and Blue Letter Bible had a few definitions for the word ungodly. One of them was that the ungodly is morally wrong. So that is true according to God's word. The ungodly do not have in mind God's ways. One of the other definitions are that the ungodly is the guilty one. Another one, or guilty of crime. And the ungodly, which we were before we trusted Christ, our crime was that we were guilty of is that we sinned against a holy and just God. And that's why Jesus came to take away our sin by dying on the cross. And once we've trusted in that sacrifice, then we become his children, we become saints. So we are not like the ungodly any longer. But the ungodly, it says, they are like chaff which the wind blows away. And I was curious also about the word chaff. So I looked that up. In the Blue Letter Bible, apparently the Arabic word for chaff means straw, and that's easy to picture. And this part of the definition was also pretty interesting. So the chaff is a husk separated from grain by winnowing. And I found that definition very, very interesting because it reminds me in the New Testament of the parable Jesus tells about the separation of the wheat and the tares. But this verse is very serious and sobering because it reminds us to share the gospel with others when the opportunity arises. It's not always an easy thing to do, that's for sure, but it's something that is important. So right now I'm just going to give you a few seconds again to think about how you would draw Psalm 1:4. Just a few seconds, and then you can pause the video if you need a little bit more time to think about how you would draw this verse. So again, the verse is Psalm 1:4, and it says, "The ungodly are not so, but are like chaff which the wind blows away." So I'll just give you a few seconds now to think how you'll draw this. Okay. And like I said, if you need more time, you can pause the video before I show you what I've drawn. So I have drawn kind of a messy, not very pretty drawing, but then this verse really isn't a pretty verse, is it? At all. I was going to put blue in to make it look nicer, but it doesn't need to look nice. So I've got, this is apparently a windstorm, and then the brown sticks are the chaff, the straw that the wind is carrying away with it. So yeah, this verse isn't as encouraging as last week, but it's still important. And like I said, it reminds us to share the gospel with others. And so if you would like to, you're welcome to post your drawing below. I'd love to see what you've drawn. And then I guess I will say goodbye for now, and I will see you next week. I believe next week, or maybe the one after, is our last lesson in Psalm 1. So we're getting close to the end already. So I hope you're all doing well, and we'll chat again soon. Bye for now.